So I haven't been doing a very good job of filming the construction process on my cabin. So let's start, because I'm trying to document this along the way. Let's start down here. I think I have some video and some pictures that I'll put in here of what happened before this, but see those, that right there, that's a marine treated piling. So here's a good quick story for you, just about being alert, paying attention, being aware. These are marine grade pilings from marina down in Pensacola, Florida. You can see they were actually in the water. This one has a little bit of where something's bored into it, but not much. So my brother, you know, he owns a tugboat company, a shipping company, and he leases out barges a lot. And I was down there working with him one day, helping him out. I think he called me and asked me if I wanted to be a deck hand on a boat for a couple of days. So I went. I love to be on the water. And a tugboat pulls up to his shipyard with all of these pilings and all sorts of other debris on it. And I said, "Hey man, what's fixing to happen with that?" And he said, "That's where they're cleaning out a marina that got damaged by the hurricane. They're rebuilding it, and all that's going to the dump." And I said, "We can't let that happen." And so I told him, I asked him to call the people that own the construction company that was doing the salvage project. And so he said, "What are y'all gonna do?" They said, "Yeah, we're just gonna haul it to the dump." And they said, "If you want it, that'll save us money." So we offloaded all these pilings off of the barge. And by the way, this is like, that's probably 20, okay? But everything that house is sitting on is one of those. In fact, you can see right there is a stack of the cutoffs. But anyway, I said, we offloaded them. I said, "Man, we'll use them." And so I've used a bunch here. There's still a bunch down there. We got a couple other good projects we're gonna do. We're excited about that. All in the name of just salvaging, just paying attention, seeing what's available and using what you got, right? So I saved a bunch of money on the cabin. By the way, this cabin, the whole idea is low budget, right? So everything you see over there's got a story. I'll tell you about it in just a minute. These beams right here, some of those have been strategically placed. We had some really bad wind, I think, because all of this was in place and it's blown off. I had them covered up good, but you see where all that metal's blown off. These beams, you see how they are. See that mortise joint right there and right there? Here's another mortise joint right here. These came out of an old grist mill or a dam or a bridge that was right over there up a little creek. I found it one day walking, and I got out there. It was buried under the creek bed, and I got out there and dug it up. And these are huge beams. Now this one, they got a little wear to them. You know, they're falling apart, but they're still strong inside. Especially if I can keep them covered up. They're gonna be great for construction for some project somewhere.
Well, we stirred that up. Now the creek bed over here at the Cottle Creek land, it is absolutely huge, and there's another one right there. No telling how old these are. You'll have to turn it sideways to even get it down the creek. This plan is to use it to build a cabin over here on Cottle Creek. Found this area in one of the feeder creeks where obviously an old bridge had been, or maybe there was a sawmill back here at one time. I don't know. but he's pulled, this is probably the sixth, I don't know, fifth or sixth beam timber like this he's pulled out right here to try to reuse. I think this one's probably the biggest one so far, but the one left in the water right there is going to be the biggest, if he can even get that one out. They'd be creating kind of a dam in the creek, and so now that's not going to be there anymore. I think the water of the creek's going to run a lot faster than we used to run. Carry down the creek sideways because it's too wide. This is where he's been piling up all the timbers that we've been pulling out. You can see this is that biggest one that came from up the creek. And it's not wanting to get up the hill too good.
I don't know if it's going to do it.
He's decided to put a strap on it so that he wouldn't eat the timber up too bad with the teeth of the excavator. Back up a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to go around and come up and pull it up.
Okay. Back up. I think he's going to push it up. go. See, old nails in it.
So you see the pilings up under the house. This the creek is just right over here. Let me show you. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's the creek. Now, I've seen it flood in here before, but the most I've ever seen it flood would be right up here under the house, would have been ankle deep. And so I feel like this is plenty high enough off the ground. But I want to tell you, look, so I had to pay for these boards because they're treated. I had to pay for these because they're treated. These lag bolts, I salvaged them all out of a building that I tore down. All these 2x4s, every 2x4 you see in here, all rough cut lumber that we cut off our land. And my buddy Peter Williams came and he had a mill, sawmill. Got ahead of myself. And he brought a sawmill over and we milled it all up. Of course, I did have to buy the shower. There's some more of our rough cut wood. These beams, George and Brenda got somewhere. I honestly don't know where they came from, but I like them. So I'm using them in here. Now here is two. So these two big beams that are going this way, those are beams that came out of the old dam or gristmill or whatever up the creek. These are some of the beams George and Brenda got that I'm gonna put up there. There'll be a floor up there and then a small room upstairs for a second story. It's kind of a wreck in here. We've had some bad storms come through over the weekend. That's why all this plastic, I put this plastic up trying to cover the plywood floor to keep it from soaking up too much water, and the wind just ripped it to shreds. That's okay. All is still well in the world, especially the beauty of God's creation. Because there it is, that creek. Can't wait to show y'all more of the project as it unfolds.